Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. We're going to be taking down our first new SBR stage. We're going to be doing them all in order, by the way, and there's quite a few. There's an extra, what, 10? 9, 10, something like that. We're going to be taking the first one on, which is Exploding Rage. Lucky enough, I got a Beerus not too long ago on Global here. So, we can be doing this this category stage on SBR quite easily. There it is right there, Exploding Rage. I've actually taken a look through the team anyway, in terms of what you can take. In terms of kind of substitutes, if you don't have Beerus, you don't have many options. Like, you have good options in terms of units, but in terms of options, like for example with Super Saiyan, there's some good units you can take on the team. Like, one of the major issues is it's like there's not that many options to go on the team. Like, for example, let me show you right now. Super Saiyans it should be, this is like my nemesis of Dokkan, is literally trying to find categories. Yeah, there's Super Saiyan. Like, for example, there's some good units, but for example, you take these ones guaranteed. Okay, no, we take these ones guaranteed, and then you're like, okay, we can take both Brolys. I mean, you can do that, but unfortunately those Brolys don't link. I mean, you could still actually take this because you can run both Brolys as floaters, and to be fair, it is SBR, so it shouldn't be too difficult, especially with, like, for example, those units. You know, Strength Goku builds up defense once he goes into Super Saiyan. Bardock has damage reduction when he goes into Super Saiyan. Also, not the most defense, but he shouldn't be taking too much damage considering it is SBR, not ESBR. Gohan and the LR SSJ Goku are going to be perfect together. I mean, you could, to be fair, you could actually run that. You just have to run both Brolys on separate rotation. Of course, if you do have the Beerus, the team is a lot easy to build. Both Beeruses are going to be floaters because you can't really link anyone with the Beerus. Like, all Beeruses have the same name. All Beerai have the same name. So, I mean, to be fair, again, there's a lot of options. I'd love to take this Frieza just because he would decimate, but there's no one to really link him with. I mean, you could link him with like a full extreme team maybe or something, or just have a full extreme team anyway. But I am going to be 1, safe, 2, taking the big boy. So I'm gonna have a rotation of them two. I'm gonna be taking, who else do I want to take? I'm gonna take, oh, I think we got to take him. We got to take him, and then we can take him with the tech one. Can't take him with this one because they have the same name. Yeah, we'll take him with the tech one, and then the final unit, which is gonna be our third floater. I mean, there is some options. As I said, I don't know who I want to take. Maybe I just take Frieza just to take him. maybe that's what I do. I just take him. I mean, to be fair, you could, if this is the team you can actually take, you could take quite a few units. You could take this Goku. You could probably take this Broly. You could probably take Bardock. There's options. I'm gonna take Frieza purely just because, literally for no other reason apart from I'm just gonna take him. Let me quickly take the Dende off because I was doing that for the Dragon Ball mission. I'm looking for Snake. That's the one. But yeah, overall, these new SBR stages shouldn't be difficult because it's SBR. It's not ESBR, so it should be a hell of a lot more easier to do. The only way this will probably be overly difficult is if you're a newer Dokkan player and you don't have that many units. That's all I could say. Oh, we do have Gohan here, which is gonna help us do a little bit of extra damage, which is nice. But I'm gonna attack Piccolo with this Broly, and then the tech one is going to be attacking Gohan. And then Beerus, you can just kind of chill at the end. To be fair, we can get you a super attack off. This is actually, do you know what, funny enough, I actually Dokkan awakened Beerus earlier on purely for this new SBR stage. Literally purely. I was going to try and make a team without him. I mean, if you've got him, you might as well use him, right? And this is perfect because Broly's just going to get an attack all, which means this is going to be even easier, especially with the amount of damage he does. Piccolo's already dead. Yeah, I mean, for example, if you're doing Exploding Rage and you're not taking the LR Strength Broly, especially after his Easy A, I don't know what for you. I mean, if you don't have him, then fair enough. If you do have him, take him. Take him. I mean, he's literally almost one-shot the entire first stage by himself because of the attack all and the additional he automatically gets. Yeah, as I said, in terms of, because it's ESBR, this shouldn't be overly difficult to do. Just because of the fact it doesn't do enough damage, and it doesn't have the same type of defense or health, I'm pretty sure, as of course ESBR, which is obviously a hell of a lot more difficult and a lot more dangerous. Like, you could be caught for some hefty damage in ESBR. So yeah, this shouldn't be really too difficult. Like, if you have a lot more of the you know, the more recent units in Dokkan, especially the good ones, like I say recent ones, literally on this team alone, if you have the LR strength Broly, you should be good. You should be. If you got the tech on as well, you should be good, because those two will do so much damage, and especially with Broly's built-in additional. And if you have any dupes in him and he gets another additional, you'll be attacking all twice. Not to mention, there seems to be a lot of Saiyans, you know, on this stage, which means the LR strength Broly is going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage because of his passive against pure and hybrid Saiyans. So I mean, this should be incredibly easy to do. Like, really easy to do if you have the LR strength Broly and also the tech one to link with them. If you don't, then of course, I mean, you can run the DBS Broly with him. I can't remember how well they link together, but you can run him. And another thing that's quite nice about him is he does attack all, and again, with it not being ESBR, you won't take as much damage, which means you're a little bit safer running him. Not to mention, you also have 4 items instead of just 2. Of course, you have 2 of each, so it's a lot more forgiving here, which, I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to have new SBR stages, which means, you know, new stages to complete, stones, you know, getting the, I think the new LR has been added for completing SBR stages. I could be wrong. But, you know, getting the dupes for them, and, you know, getting essentially rewards. It would have been nice if they added ESBR stages instead, or with the new SBR stages, just because it actually would have been more of a challenge. Like, as you can see, we've almost already finished it already. And we don't even need to pop an item here, because Goku is just going to be more than safe. Sorry, Beerus, can't give you a super attack. I mean, that's fine. Beerus is here purely for his leader skill. I mean, that's literally the only reason why he's here, is purely for his leader skill. But for the most part, I probably think the easiest team to be running if you do not have the Beerus instead is probably a Super Saiyans team. Just for the sole fact that you can run Broly. The main thing, if you have the easy A LR strength Broly, take him and you're good. Take him and you're good. Because it seems that I didn't actually know what the enemies were on this stage. But it looks like, yeah, it looks like the majority of the enemies, apart from Boo and Piccolo, and is it Goku? Who's Goku? Goku's actually on his own. Okay, so apart from the first two, apart from the first phase with Boo and Piccolo, every other enemy, including Gohan and that first one, is a pure or hybrid Saiyan enemy, which means Broly's just going to be having a field day. Broly's going to be doing ridiculous damage anyway. He's going to be doing even more damage because he's facing pure or hybrid Saiyans. He's also going to get in the built-in additional, which means you're going to be getting an attack all as well when you have the first 2 phases where you're facing 2 and 3 enemies. And then if you have dupes in him, you might be getting another additional when you get an attack all anyway, and then you might also potentially crit. So as long as you have LR strength Broly, you are going to be, I mean, you're watching here, you're going to be wiping the exploding rage stage of SBR. I mean, you're literally seeing it. Goku's only a little bit more difficult, and I put difficult in kind of commas, you know, inverted quotations, because he has more health. But again, it's SBR, so you shouldn't be really taking that much more damage. Even here, again, if you have, for example, LR Frieza, yes, I kind of just threw him on to have him on. But if you have LR Frieza, this part of the event is going to be so easy for you, because you're facing a Goku enemy, which means Frieza, along with his attack and defense plus 100% he gets on his passive, then the bonus attack and defense plus 100% he has on his passive, because we are within the 6-turn limit. And you're also facing a superclass enemy, which all of the enemies are, which gives you another bonus attack plus 50%. And guess what? We're facing a Goku enemy, which means Frieza's going to be hitting a crit every time he attacks the Super Saiyan God Goku on this last phase. It means it means Frieza is going to absolutely carry. I say carry, it's not difficult. He's just going to decimate this part of the exploding raid stage. Like, easily. And he has type advantage here. I mean, we've almost killed him. I'm 10 minutes into recording. I think it was about 2.5 minutes was spent building the team and like looking at options you could use. I mean, I'm only using items here just in case, but even then, I mean, this rotation you might have to worry about, like running the 2 Broly rotations. You may have to worry about the amount of damage you might take. So you might use, as I've been using, that's even with a Whis active, a Whis, a Ghost Usher. When it comes to the rotation with LR Goku and also Gohan, for the most part, you should be good. And Goku is done because of the built-in additional. We're done. Yeah, these stages, as I said, because it's SBR stages and ESBR, because of where Dokkan's at right now with all these EZAs and these ridiculous, insane... Oh, God. I choked on speech. Jesus. Because of the ridiculous, like, recent units in Dokkan and how good they are, I mean, for the most part, you should be good. Just don't be a little, like, don't overdo it in terms of, like, not using items. You just won't have to use that many, and also it's not as difficult as the SBR, because, again, you're not taking as much damage. You're probably doing more damage, and you have 4 items instead of 2, and you have 2 of each. So you should be good. But in terms of Exploding Rage, in terms of what you can take, I think if you don't have the Beerus, the best bet is probably Super Saiyans. I mean, there's some good options on here, like this Gohan as well, to go with him. I mean, you even have, to be fair, as much as he is memed, he could still do a very good job here. There's also the Int Broly if you don't have the Strength one, the LR Strength one, who could do a similar job. But for the most part, you probably want to be taking, if you have him, this one. The LR Tech Broly if you have him to go with. And if you have this one, take the LR Strength Broly instead of the Tech one. And then you could even take this Broly because of the same name update and have him as a floater. And then instead of Frieza if you don't have him. And then just have like the Super Saiyan rotations with Goku and Gohan. I said you can even take this Gohan instead of Goku or something. And then have the, you know, as the Super Saiyans kind of lead team instead. But if you do have the Beerus, as I said, you can take Frieza as a floater. If not, you can take this dude, who's going to do just as good because the whole pure and hybrid Saiyans thing. So yeah, these shouldn't really be too difficult. I'll still do videos covering them, I guess, again, because if you're more recent in terms of Dokkan, you might not have that many units to kind of cover your team, so it might be a little bit more difficult for you. But for the most part, if you've been playing for a good couple of years, or as long as I have, these stages should be really easy for you. But I'll still do videos covering them because it is new content. I just wish it was the SBR. But yeah, let me know how you're finding the new SBR stages, and also would you prefer if they were ESBR, because they are kind of easy. Do let me know down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and peace.